How's it going, everybody? So I just wanted to start off and thank everyone for all the support and likes, and my last video got over 1,000 views, the most ever, so that's great. So we're clicking our way up on the YouTube algorithm. I just wanted to start out by saying, please support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, the like button, the share with your friends, and the little bell to tell you when I'm coming out with another video. I know I've been slacking with videos here lately, but we're gonna get cracking because the winter is coming to about the middle of the winter right now, and if how can I show you that it's winter in southern New England without saying it's winter? Right here. All right. So I have been slacking on videos. The last video I put out was from when we came across Long Island Sound from Port Jefferson. That was quite a long time ago. But since then, not a lot has happened, but so we basically came across. When we came across, as you could see in the video, I lost audio in the video. I lost a lot of stuff. So this video I'm going to try to explain a little bit what happened, and then explain a little bit of real-time happenings, what's going on. So it's been pretty hard. I got another job, so I've been going back and forth to the boat maybe once a week. And probably when you're looking at this video, I probably don't have that job anymore due to a medical condition that I developed, but everything will be okay. So I'm in the search for another job, and as we go, I'm still going to go make videos and play with the boats. So, alright, let's get into it. So when we came across Long Island Sound from Port Jefferson, no motor. The motor, it turns out that the motor has not ran in years, which I was told it ran. I did get it running, but then it almost overheated due to my lack of knowledge of that motor. Things happened. It didn't overheat, but it did, it wasn't good. So I got it shut down, and we proceeded to wait for 3 days until Cito towed us back out to Long Island Sound. And we got out to Long Island Sound on the Sunday and proceeded to lift the mainsail, which I don't have a foresail on it yet. The rigging is there, but the running rigging is so deteriorated from that boat not being moved in so long that I could not raise anything on that. So all I had was a mainsail. The mainsail I had to patch with a bunch of tape, sail tape, and because it's got a bunch of holes in it and it's got a bunch of mold on it. Anyways, I said screw it, I'm going. I want to get over to Connecticut. I wanted to get away from Port Jefferson and the dirt pile that I was next to. I was next to a dirt pile where they loaded and offloaded basically this pea stone gravel back and forth, and all the dirt from that was coming onto the boat constantly. In fact, the bilge, I still have to clean the bilge because it has some of that still in it. So anyways, so we got towed out by Ct out onto a mooring ball, which was fine because they said, oh yeah, you can stay on this mooring ball for a few days until you figure out what you're going to do. So I got towed out there, sat on the mooring ball for 3 days. Sunday came around, looked like there was going to be some good wind, so I said, hey, tow me out to the sound. I'm going to put the sail up and I'm going to go. That's what happened. And there was wind, and then there was no wind. And then there was wind, and then there was no wind. So, yeah. So, I sailed during the day, pretty much most of the day tacking back and forth. So I sailed during the day tacking back and forth from southwest or southeast to northeast, southeast to northeast. I tacked back and forth to try to make some headway. Then it started getting dark, and we lost a lot of the wind. I had tacked back up to the northeast, and I pretty much heaved to toward the Connecticut coast and just sat there for a couple hours. And at that time, after a few hours, I had heard something that I've never heard before. I thought it was a storm coming up. So it was like a, and it was coming closer and closer and closer and closer. So I had been warned, the tides in the Long Island Sound are crazy. I didn't know it was this crazy. So I looked aft and I could see basically the outgoing tide in the Long Island Sound coming toward me, because where I was, it was all calm, almost glass. But this tide just came, it was just crazy. And you could see the ripples in the water and the way it was coming. And it was coming at the boat. So it came and overtook the boat. I was heaved to. There was no wind. I tried helming toward the tide, and I did as best as I could. But all of a sudden, I didn't think I was that close, but buoy number 1 of Old Saybrook Sound was a little larger than I thought it would be. I looked up and I saw a buoy, and I'm like, why is that buoy so close? Why is that buoy so close? And sure enough, bam, bam, we bounced off the buoy twice and went away from it. I immediately ran down below to check to see if it cracked the hull, which it didn't. Thank God. It just, we actually didn't, we hit, but we didn't hit that hard. But it was very chaotic. So obviously I didn't film any of this. So yeah, so I bounced off the buoy, and that was a heck of a thing. So like I said, I went down below, checked to see if anything had happened, any water ingress, anything, but it wasn't. There was nothing. So after that, I kind of drifted south toward Long Island again, because I had no wind. There was no wind. So I kind of drifted south until the tides kind of calmed down, and I was able to come about, caught some wind, and headed back up toward Connecticut. Got up toward Connecticut around sunrise, and I tucked into west of Old Saybrook Lighthouse and the jetty and everything like that. There's a area that's in front of Catherine Hedbrook's. Catherine, I might not have that right, but I'll put it down here. Catherine Hedbrook's house. There's an area in front, in between the jetties and Long Island Sound. There's an area. So I tacked back and forth in there and called Cito. Called Cito. They're like, yeah, we'll come out and get you. So they came out and got me, and you see everything else in the video. They towed me back. They towed me up to Essex and got me on the mooring ball. Thank you very much. And my battery's about to die. Okay, so we got through all of the drama of coming across the Long Island Sound, and we are tied up. Now we're tied up to the mooring ball in Essex, late summer. What I did was I didn't film hardly anything at all. I will try to find some footage of me taking apart the engine. So I started disassembling the engine. I took the head off. I disassembled the head. I disassembled the water pump because the water pump failed, the raw water pump. So I disassembled that mainly because the bracket holding the water pump on was very janky, and I needed to redo it. So that's all apart. The exhaust is apart and the head is apart. I'm going to pull off the high pressure pump and redo the high pressure pump. My neighbor who does head work, he's redoing the head for me, and we're going to reseal everything, put everything back together, and that motor is going to be basically top end rebuilt. I checked out the cylinders and everything like that. Cylinders all look good. So the engine looks pretty good. Bam! At the present time, I don't know how people do that, but I just tried it. Hey, Banjo. So now, like I said, we didn't do very much on the boat during the summer. And now the boat is back on the hard in Essex. So when we left Port Jefferson, the swing keel, drop keel centerboard was hanging. Well, somewhere coming across Long Island Sound, yeah, that snapped off. I don't know if it happened when we hit the buoy or what, but all that's left is about a foot from where the pivot point is. So I spent the last couple of weeks getting the pin ground out and pulled out. I'll put some of that over here. So the pin is all out. The pivot point of where it goes down is down, but I can't get it out because the ground is there, and it's permafrost right now. I can't dig into it, so we're gonna have to wait till the spring to actually get it out, which is a killer because next year most likely I'm gonna have to spend the time to redo it and sail next year without it. We'll see what happens. So that kind of brings you up to date of what I've been doing. We winterized the boat. We got it all the moisture packs in there, so we wouldn't have any condensation built up during the winter. I got tarps over it, and hopefully it'll be okay. So those of you going to jump into something else, I also still have the Choi Lee. It is in my yard on the trailer, and I tried to sell it last year, but nobody wanted to purchase it. I don't know why, but we're going to keep working on the Choi Lee because I love that boat. Okay, so now this is the part that I come out and ask for help. I'm not the one that usually asks for help. I usually try to do everything myself. So as I go forward, as you're seeing this right now, I'm probably unemployed, trying to find another job. I had to leave my last job because of some medical issues. So to continue, what we need to be doing is to keep filming and to keep going with both boat projects, with the Choi Lee and the Irwin. I'm just going to keep going with both of them to try to keep everything going as I can. So I have set up a Patreon page, which is Patreon.com/Sailing Yankee Winds, to help support my channel. Help support the channel if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it, but I'm looking for support to keep on filming, keep on doing the boat projects, keep everything going. Sorry for the noise, the dogs are playing around my feet. But yeah, so I have Patreon, and I'm going to put the link in the description and right here on the screen. I also opened a GoFundMe page, which I will put the link here and in the description. That's for basically a one-time donation. Like I said, I don't like asking for help, but I need help, so I'm going to ask for it. I also have a Venmo page where you can donate, and I'll put the information in the description for that. And I'll put my address down where you can send any donations that you would like. Secondhand, anything boat related. Lines, blocks, clutches, bilge pumps. The list would go on and on and on. Basically, I need everything. If you can donate it and you have it secondhand, you're not using it, I'll take it if you want to send it to me. I really appreciate it. Getting back to the Patreon page, everybody on the Patreon page will get exclusive weekly updates. You'll also get exclusive, eventually we're going to do merchandise and everything like that, but stay tuned for all that. I haven't worked it all out yet, but I'm trying. It's new to me, so it might take a little while to get everything like that ironed out. So that's where we sit with that. After that, we have the boat lists. The boat lists are extensive. So like I said, if anybody can donate anything, if you have some total boat, I do total boat resins, I do total boat varnish. I love the varnish from Total Boat. So the Choi Lee. So I'm sorry, but I have a list here. Here's the Choi Lee. So the Choi Lee, we need to rebuild all the port lights. We need to re-bed all the deck fittings. Sand and repaint the decks. Fix the bright work. Fix the leaky rudder shaft. Rewire the mast. Rewire the boat interior and engine. Rebuild the rebuild the bunk sides that are rotting. We need to redo the cabin top, the cabin interior sides near the port lights. We need to rebuild the galley. We need to rebuild the head. Repaint the V-berth. Repaint the chain locker. Cockpit floor and drain. That was good, huh? Thank you, Banjo. Thank you. Alright, cut. Take 2. Cockpit floor and drain. And we do need to do the oil filter and impeller change. That's the easy one. The Irwin. The Irwin, we have 2-page list, and let me tell you, this boat did not sail for over 10 years. It sat on the mooring ball for I don't know how long. It was used as a party boat, and basically Cito would tow them out there to the mooring ball in the beginning of the season and tow them back at the end of the season. So yeah, the boat hasn't done anything in years. All the running rigging needs to be replaced. That's what I'm saying. Any lines, any old lines. I'm going to get some new stuff. I do have a new Garmin chart plotter that I did invest in. So we'll see what happens. But we have quite an extensive list. So we'll just go through that real quick. We need to finish removing the centerboard, rebuilding the centerboard, and reinstalling the centerboard. We need to rebed all the port lights. We need to rebed all the deck hardware. And we need to scrape and prime and paint the decks. We need to fix the anchor locker, install new running rigging, which is desperately, and sheets, a new autopilot belt. The autopilot seems to work, but needs a new belt. So we need to finish the engine, so we need to reinstall the head, we need to rebuild the high pressure pump, raw water pump, new alternator, new starter, oil filter and impellers, and we need to fix the 12 volt on the refrigerator. That's a lot, I know. Install the water filter, a raw water filter, because there is none on there. Clean fuel tank, that's a big one. Get power to the mast, because there is no power to the mast right now. Along with that is the navigation and spreader lights. That's a big one too. But that goes with getting power to the mast. Alright. I said that already. New reinstall the deck fittings. Remove the hot water tank, which is down by in actually after the motor, which is going to give us quite a bit of room to remove that hot water tank. We don't need hot water right now. We need to clean the bilges. Clean the bilges is important. Install a second bilge pump. That's going to be important too. We have one good working one. I want to get an anchor chain. I want to get at least 100 feet of chain on there instead of just having, I think I have maybe 20 feet of chain, and then the rest of it's road. I want chain. Get the chart plotter installed, a windometer installed, and a depth finder installed. Clean the transom. Put the name on the back of the transom, because I got the old name off. There's a lot of sticky stuff on there, so I need to clean all that out. Reinstall the bimini. I dropped the bimini off. Actually, I dropped the bimini, the bimini off to get new zippers put on. Solar panels. I want to get new solar panels. A new mainsail. The mainsail that is on this boat, which is up there, is terrible. I used 2 rolls of sail tape to just barely get me to be able to sail across the sound. That's not going to cut it. It's so old. All the stitching is coming apart, so it needs a new mainsail. Install the Genoa. Once I get the running rigging on, I can install the Genoa. Fix the sides of the boat where I ran into the dinghy, or fix the sides of the boat where I ran into the buoy. There's some red paint on there. We need to fix that. Just get it off. Propane locker. Propane locker needs to be redone. It's not that bad, but it needs to be redone. Engine shutoff cable that goes along with the engine stuff that we're going to be doing. And test run the engine once we're all done with everything here, and then go sailing. We're probably not going to do everything that we have here. Truthfully, most likely we're not going to do everything that's on that list, but we're going to try. So we're going to do as much as we possibly can, because as you know, I will put her in the water as she is and do as much either motor or sailing as I possibly can next year. I don't care. I don't care if she's perfect. I just want to go out there and be on the ocean and enjoy it. That's where I belong, on the ocean, enjoying myself. So here's to everybody out there. If you can support me, please support me. Everything will be in the description. If you can't and you just want to watch, that's awesome. Just watch. But I really appreciate everybody supporting me in any way possible that they can. And here's to everyone out there. Thank you in advance. And as I always say, peace, and I'll catch you on the next wave.